As a DevOps engineer, we work on implementation as well as operations. If you see most of the courses, we cover only implementation, including me, because previously in interviews they were more focusing on implementation. But if you see the trend now, they are focusing on operations as well because it is also having equal importance. That's the reason in this course we are going to do implementation as well as operations. As part of implementation, we discuss about branching strategies, Docker files, that to multi-stage Docker files, Kubernetes raw manifest files, and what are the advantages of using Helm charts, then writing Argo CD application files, Terraform scripts, Python scripts, and many more. This comes under to implementation part. Once this is done, we need to manage our infrastructure and CI/CD pipelines. That comes under to operations, where we do EKS upgrade, dev, QA, prod, image promotions, secret management, troubleshooting, fixing pod issues, adding new microservice, application rollbacks, and many more we are going to do as part of operations. We haven't introduced monitoring over here because I felt it is going to be heavy as part of this course. We are launching that as a dedicated course. This clearly tells you that how this course is different than other courses. If you feel that this is what something you are looking, please enroll in this course and I will see you inside the course. Before diving into further, let's understand our course curriculum so that you will know what exactly we are going to do by end of this project. First, I am going to start with project overview and architecture. Then we will talk about infrastructure architecture. We are using AWS Cloud to set up this project. Next, writing infrastructure as a code. We need to write different modules to create this infrastructure. For that, we are using Terraform. Once we have written code, we will write pipelines for Terraform itself. We will run Terraform commands through pipelines. Whenever we want to apply Terraform, it should go with approval process so that we will have more control what to go onto our infrastructure. Next, bootstrapping Kubernetes. Once we have set up EKS, we need to install load balancer controller, Argo CD, external secret operator. These all we are going to install through Python. Next, secret management, we are using application and database credentials. So I will show you where to store, what is the secure way to access it. Next, Dockerizing applications, we are using 9 microservices, 1 for front end and 8 for back end. So we need to write Docker files for each microservice. Next, application CI/CD pipeline with GitHub Actions. We are using GitHub Actions as our CI, so we need to write workflows. Then we need to build, scan, test, and deploy our microservices. So for CI process, we are using GitHub Actions. Next, security in CI. So we are using Sonar Cloud, Trivi, Cosign, just to validate our code is secure or not, even our image is secure or not. Then Kubernetes manifests, raw YAML to Helm charts. Initially, we will write raw Kubernetes manifest files like deployment, secret, services, config maps, so on so. Then we will convert those into Helm charts because Helm charts is easy way to manage. Next, GitOps with Argo CD, deploying frontend. Initially, we deploy frontend application. Usually, we should do backend first, but to understand and learn, it is easy if we deploy frontend. So I will show you how we can do it through Argo CD, Helm charts, and how do we run it automatically. Next, backend microservices. Then we are going to deploy backend 8 microservices. Again, over here for CI, we use GitHub Actions for CD, Argo CD. And environment promotion, once this is done, how actually dev to QA, QA to production, the environment promotion happens. These are high-level topics which we are going to discuss as part of this course or project. I'm going to talk about what actually do you learn and how will it be useful for your interviews. I have published this course on Udemy as DevOps Real World Project, Build and Operate CI/CD on EKS. In this course, along with build, we also cover operational activities. If you are interested, I have added a coupon code in the description of this video. Please make use of that. And also it is part of subscription on Udemy Business. If you have Udemy Business account, you can enroll and watch this course. Alright, let's come back to our discussion. As part of this course, we are going to provision our infrastructure on AWS Cloud. So you need to create or set up a new AWS account. When you set up a new AWS account, you are going to get $100 as credit. That would be helpful to practice this lab. To set up this project, it would cost around $30 to $50. That too if you are deleting your infrastructure whenever you are not using it. I strongly recommend you to set up billing alarms and also closely monitor your billing dashboard, because sometimes you provision few resources and you might forget. Next thing, block consistent daily time. When you block your time in your calendar, you mentally prepare to watch this course and practice it. Otherwise, you feel like these course videos are available, you can complete it whenever you want, but you don't get the free time to complete it. It might happen with many courses as well. Next, while learning, I would strongly recommend to watch complete video once, then practice it. Why? Because at the end of the video, I have given instructions how you need to practice this. And also, while practicing, please take notes even while watching video, so that by looking at the notes, you easily connect the dots. While practicing, if you face any issues, please make a note of those errors and fix what you have done. That would be helpful for you to fix the same issue or similar issue if you face it again. If you stuck up while doing this project, please post your query in the Q&A section. I will take a look and respond as soon as possible. If it is a critical blocker, please DM me on LinkedIn. I am happy to help you. Next, don't stop this course in the midway, because it hardly needs 1 week of your time and you will learn lot of things by doing this project. Once you have completed this project by following these videos, I would strongly recommend you to rebuild it once again from your notes, so that you can understand what and all things you learned, and if there is something missing, again you can watch it and rebuild it. Next, delete your infrastructure once you are done with the project. Once you have completed this project, you are going to get certification. Please post certification in LinkedIn, tag me, and also you will do lot of commits in your GitHub account. That would be definitely helpful for you while attending interviews. And one last thing, rating. During this course, at any point of time, if you feel that this course is adding value, you can drop rating. That helps me to reach out to more people who really need this course. And one more thing, you might face a lot of hurdles while doing this course, but don't worry. At least if you listen once, you can completely understand how things are working. Then you can redo it along with the documentation. I am going to share all the documentations and repository links as we are progressing through the course. We are going to talk about project overview and architecture. As I mentioned, you are working as a DevOps engineer in an organization and you got a project called GenPharma. When new project comes, you need to take decisions like what and all infrastructure you can provision, where you can provision, what and all DevOps tools you can use. Let's assume that this decision were already made and you know you are using AWS cloud and you know list of the DevOps tools. Based on that, we need to set up our infrastructure and CI/CD pipeline. And also you came to know that they are using microservice based applications. So they already developed their application and committed into GitHub repository. This is what their code looks like. They have front end and back end. In front end, they have a microservice called Pharma UI. In back end, they have 8 microservices. And this code is already committed into GitHub account. There is an organization called GenPharma. Over there in the front end repository, we have Pharma UI. In back end repository, we have all these microservices. Let me show you that. To make it work, this is my GitHub account. Over here, I created an organization called GenPharma. In this GenPharma, I have created 3 repositories. I am considering that developers already committed their code over here. So over here, you can see front end, back end. When I open front end, you can see only source code. We don't have Docker file over here and also .github for pipelines. So we need to create as we progress through this course. Similar way, if I go to backend, over here we have 8 microservices and each microservice we need to create a Docker file. Again, we have only source code at this moment. First we need to write Docker files, then GitHub actions, then only we can run our CI pipelines. And one more repository we have over here, that is documents. This is what we are going to use throughout this program. I have created each and every step in this documentation, so we just need to follow this document so that you can able to set up. Because there is lot of code and multiple repositories are involved over here, it is very easy you might get a drift. That's why I kept all the information over here. I tried to cover my best to keep every step. In case if there is some deviation, feel free to update this document and raise a pull request. If I feel that is okay, I am going to merge those changes into documentation so that it will be helpful for other learners. However, I put almost all the steps, and while we are working, if there is any deviations, I will try to update this document. These are the repositories. Apart from this, we need to create two more repositories, that is one for infra, another one for GitOps. We will do that going forward. For now, these are three repositories. You need to clone these repositories onto your account, and these repositories will be available in your GitHub account. If you want to follow the same structure, you can go and create the organization over here in your account, but you cannot create with the same name. You need to use other name. I recommend that you go and create in your own account so that there won't be much confusion rather than creating organizations, because organizations are needed in the companies. Next thing, DevOps tools list. We are using Terraform as infrastructure as a code. We will provision each and every AWS resource through Terraform. Then GitHub as version control system, we just seen source code. Then GitHub Actions for CI/CD pipelines. We are yet to create this one, even this Terraform code as well. Docker for containerization, we should create those. Argo CD for GitOps continuous delivery. AWS EKS for container orchestration. So these are the major tools which we are covering, and we kept GitHub Actions, Argo CD and EKS, Terraform. These DevOps tools mostly covered in interviews nowadays. That's the reason we wanted to create project around this. In AWS, we are provisioning infrastructure, right? So we provision VPC, EKS, ECR, RDS, IAM, Secret Manager. These are the AWS services which we are going to use. Now we see actually how does it work. So basically we are going to provision all AWS resources by using Terraform. We are going to write Terraform code modules, and we call those to provision this infrastructure. Initially we are going to talk about dev environment. Later we will talk about QA production, how we can provision things similar way in other environments. Initially we will run Terraform commands through command line. Later we will store our Terraform code in the GitHub, and our GitHub action should run Terraform init, plan, even apply as well. But we are going to build approval process when we want to apply code on actual infrastructure. That is how we can control human errors on our infrastructure. This is how our infrastructure architecture looks like. We are going to build entire pipeline. I will show you step by step. When it comes to DevOps, this is how our CI/CD pipeline looks like. At this moment, our code is available in GitHub for front end and back end. So we need to design our GitHub workflows that will do testing, building code, code scanning, image build, image scanning. Once this is done, our image get pushed into ECR. We are using ECR as our Docker registry. After that, these images should be updated in our GitOps repository. That is where we use Helm charts. Once it is updated in our GitOps repository, our Argo CD should trigger deployment, and it should be deployed in EKS cluster. It requires obviously secrets. It will be pulled from Secret Manager. So this is high level DevOps workflow. We are going to set up this one end to end, and also we are going to see how the image tagging going to happen, how it get updated in Helm charts automatically. Because once we made changes in the GitHub, entire process should happen automatically. There shouldn't be any manual intervention. Then only we can say our CI/CD pipeline is working. So even if you want to deploy into dev environment, how automatically does it happen? Then how we can do image promotion onto QA production. So how things happen, I'm going to show you and explain you. That is about the architecture. We are going to talk about the documentation and what are the prerequisites to start this project. We need to install these prerequisites on our local system, I mean to say laptop, before proceeding with this project. that is AWS CLI version 2, Terraform, kubectl, Helm charts version 3, Git and Python 3. So I hope you know how to install all these tools, or you might already installed on your local system. If you haven't done that, don't worry, I will walk you through with the documentation. As I mentioned, our code is available in GenPharma. Over here we have documents. These documents have all the steps which we need to follow in our project. Over here you can see course outline, which is what we are going to cover in this project. I kept it over here. You can just go through with this one so that you will get some idea, but I don't want to spend more time over here. Let's jump into prerequisites. I mentioned it as module 0 because I am not creating any content out of it, because you should know how to set up all these things on your own if you are doing this project. If you are struggling to set up these things, then it is very difficult for you to complete this project. In that case, better you watch it first completely, then you come back and do it. Okay. Over here, first thing, if you see accounts required, AWS account and GitHub accounts, these two are required. Next, install prerequisites. As I mentioned, AWS CLI, how to install on Mac OS, Linux and Windows. Then Terraform, how to install on Linux, Mac OS and Windows. Then kubectl, Helm charts version 3, Git, next Python 3. These are the tools which are necessary to proceed. Apart from this, few other tools are there. These all are optional. In case if we are running pipelines through our CLI, we can use GitHub CLI. Another one is VS Code, we definitely need it. And create project directory. So this directory structure anyway, I'm going to help you to create it. After that, I just kept it as a summary, what and all we required. Accounts wise, AWS account and GitHub account. Required tools, AWS CLI, Terraform. At the time of recording this video, we are using 1.15, but it should be greater than 1.11. In our course, we are using 1.15. And kubectl, Helm version 3, Git, Python and GitHub CLI, this is optional. Next, VS Code and extensions. And one more thing, directory. So in my home directory, I created a directory called DevOps. In that, I am going to create our project. I would strongly recommend you also follow the same structure. In your home directory, create DevOps. Under that, you copy all your code into GenPharma. Because going forward, we use this path in many cases. If this path is changed, you need to update some configuration files. If you don't update it properly, you get stuck up over there, unnecessarily spending time, which is not really worth. So I strongly recommend whatever directory structure or naming conventions I am using, follow same instructions so that it would be smoother. Once you have experienced complete CI/CD pipeline and you deployed all the applications, then you can experiment on top of that one. But initially, don't deviate from the things what I am covering over here. Trust me, that is going to save a lot of your time, because you don't need to debug on things where you are giving wrong paths or wrong directories. All these tools I have already installed on my system. I believe that you all know how to install these tools on your own. Alright, thank you so much and see you in the next video.